It was Kunti's Swayamvar. The royal court of Hastinapur was packed. Kings and princes had come from far and wide, all dressed in jewels and gold. Kunti, daughter of King Shurasena and the sister of Vasudev, which makes her Krishna's aunt, lit up the entire hall with her beauty and grace. But her eyes weren't on the glitter. She was looking at someone else. A young prince sitting slightly apart from the rest. No diamonds in his crown, no heavy gold embroidery on his clothes. But there was something in his eyes, like a king who didn't need a throne to prove he was one. It was Pandu, the prince of Hastinapur. They looked at each other, and that was it. In that moment, the hall, the kings, the wealth, all of it faded away. Kunti picked up the garland and walked straight toward Pandu. She placed the garland around his neck. The Swayamvar was done. Kunti had chosen Pandu, and Pandu had found not just a wife, but the woman who would lay the foundation of an entire era. Pandu and Kunti's married life started beautifully. The palace of Hastinapur was filled with happiness. Pandu was a righteous king. The people loved him, and Kunti stood by his side through everything. With time, Pandu married again. Madri, the princess of Madra. She was stunning and gentle-hearted. Kunti accepted her like a sister, and the two queens lived in harmony. It felt like nothing was missing. But destiny had other plans. One day, Pandu went hunting in the forest. Bow in hand, arrows ready, the thrill of the hunt in his veins. Suddenly, there was movement in the bushes. A deer. Pandu aimed, released the arrow. It struck straight into the deer's heart. The deer fell, and as it fell, its form changed. In its place was a sage, Rishi Kindama, pierced by the arrow, bleeding. Pandu dropped his bow. "Rishi, what have I done?" The sage looked at him with compassion, not anger. "King, I was in the form of a deer with my mate, absorbed in meditation. You killed me unknowingly. I have no personal hatred for you, but Dharma is clear. As you sow, so shall you reap." Pandu's world collapsed. The sage continued. "The same desire with which you shot this arrow, the desire for union, will be your curse. The day you approach a woman with passion, that very day you will die." And with that, the sage gave up his life. Pandu stood frozen. It was as if not just his present, but his entire future had been taken from him. After that, the palace meant nothing to him. The throne, the luxury, all empty. He handed the kingdom over to the Dhritarashtra and left for the forest with Kunti and Madri. They chose a life of ascetics. Fruits, roots, vows, discipline. No children. Kunti could see it, her husband fading inside, a king without a kingdom, a husband who could never become a father. One day, Pandu said softly, "Kunti, I've given up everything, but I can't give up the thought of our lineage ending. The Kuru dynasty will continue, but our branch will remain empty." That's when Kunti revealed a secret she had carried for years. "When I was young," she said, "Rishi Durvasa once stayed at my father's home. I served him wholeheartedly. Pleased with me, he gave me a sacred mantra from the Atharva Veda. With it, I can invoke any god, and that god will grant me a child." Pandu's face lit up. "Kunti, this is our salvation. Invoke Dharma. Let us have a son who never strays from righteousness." Kunti closed her eyes. She chanted the mantra, and from Dharma himself was born Yudhishthira. Time passed, but Pandu wished for more. "We need strength too," he said. "Call upon Vayu." Kunti did, and Bhima was born, a child with the strength to lift mountains. Then Pandu said, "Now we need a warrior, a master of archery. Invoke Indra." Kunti chanted again. Thunder rolled across the sky. The air shifted. Indra appeared in all his brilliance. From his divine energy was born Arjuna, sharp-eyed, agile, destined for greatness. Pandu held the child and wept. This one will protect Dharma. But the moment Arjuna was born, Indra felt a strange worry. He was king of the gods. He knew what was coming. The earth was heading toward chaos. Warriors like Bhishma, Drona, and Karna would rise. Men with weapons so powerful, even gods would hesitate. Indra thought, "My son will face them. Who will protect him?" There was only one name that came to his mind: Krishna. Indra descended to Dwaraka and stood before Krishna. "Lord," he said, "today I stand not as the king of heaven, but as a father. My son Arjuna will face unimaginable weapons: Brahmastra, Pashupatastra, Nagastra. I cannot protect him. Please keep him under your shelter." Krishna smiled. "I know, Arjuna is born from your essence, and I promise you, as long as I walk this earth, no one will defeat him." That wasn't just a promise. It was a divine vow. And years later, that vow made Krishna Arjuna's charioteer. Again and again, that promise became Arjuna's shield. When Bhagadatta launched the Vaishnavastra, a weapon powered by Vishnu himself, straight at Arjuna, there was no defense. Krishna jumped in front of it. The unstoppable weapon struck his chest and turned into a garland of flowers. Then came Karna's Nagastra, deadly and precise, aimed at Arjuna's head. At the last second, Krishna pressed the chariot down into the earth with his foot. The arrow missed Arjuna's head and only knocked off his crown. As long as Krishna was on earth, no one could defeat Arjuna. Not Bhishma, not Drona, not Karna. Because Krishna's word never fails.